Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the GDR Report versus the NFL. I'm Brian West. That's Ryan Tomlinson. And we are here to give you all the predictions for the 2018 Divisional rounds. That's right. The 6 or 8 are now down to 4?
4. No.
4.
No,
it's actually not.
Division. So there's
yeah,
2 games.
How many games
AFC.
we start out with? We started out with...
Ooh, sorry.
There's 16, and now there was 4, 12, carried to 1.
There's 8 teams.
We're down to 8 teams, and we are ready to pick those 4 winners.
Yes.
Spoiler alert, one of them is going to be the Seahawks. This one, the number 1. It's going to be the Seahawks.
Yeah. You mean the Eagles?
No, the Seahawks. I told you, all birds do not look alike, Ryan. God. Don't be one of those mascot elitists.
Yes, but it's actually the Philadelphia Eagles mascot, not the Seattle Seahawks.
I don't register what you're talking about. Everybody clearly knows the Seahawks are the number 1 seed this year. Because they are every year.
But the Seahawks did not secure home field advantage throughout the whole playoffs like the Philadelphia Eagles did.
Dude, Carson Wentz got hurt and the Eagles are out of it. Everybody knows it. It's over for them. The New Orleans Saints are traveling to Seattle. I've already got my tickets. I'm going to be there on Sunday.
Where did you buy your ticket from?
I bought it on this guy on eBay. He said Seattle Seahawks tickets for sale. I got a really good deal on him. I'll send you his number because this guy seemed real trustworthy.
Was it like an actual ticket, or was it like a coupon to get like a ticket at will call?
Well, I mean, he said he had to use a marker to outline it because it's some new security procedure, but it looked real authentic. So I'm totally, whatever. I gave him cash, right? So I got a receipt, so I can take the receipt back if it doesn't work. I'm fine.
I'm just gonna let you do this, and
do what?
Cheer
on the Seahawks to victory. Woohoo!
Well, while you're doing that, I'll be watching the Eagles play their game.
Whatever. You know what? You and your weird Eagles. All right, so since we've already talked about it, we got the first game this week. Is there anything you want to talk about last week before we move on to the games?
No, there's nothing I want to talk about last week.
Can I just say real quick that Marcus Mariota touchdown pass to himself is the greatest thing I've ever seen?
It was quite possibly... I think it's been a long time since I rewatched a highlight. Mm-hmm. But I watched that one like 3 or 4 times just because it was crazy how he threw it and it gets deflected and he just catches it and just dives in.
There's so many things that had to go perfectly wrong and right for that to happen.
Yeah.
One, he scrambles perfectly. The guy, he throws it, a terrible pass. First of all, it's a terrible pass into triple coverage. And the defender jumps up, and instead of... He could have done multiple things. One, he could have just tapped it out of the way. He could have intercepted it, which is what he should have done. Instead, he tries to bat it down, right? He just kind of bats it down. Well, right as he's batting it down, the defender pushes Mariota, who falls forward right where the ball that's being batted down ends up, and he grabs it, and in one motion, grabs it, lunges, touchdown. It was pretty incredible. I'm not going to lie.
It had all the magic conditions were met just within that 1/10 of a second time frame. It all just mixed right there.
You know what? And at that moment, it was still pretty early in the game. Kansas City still had a pretty sizable lead. But you had to know that everybody in Kansas City saw that and said, shit.
Yeah.
This is not going to... No. Because when you see stuff magic like that, ask the Packers. They remember in the NFC Championship game. When things start going wrong for you like that, when these magical weird things start happening, you're in for a long day.
Yeah. And I like how all the stats are what was the first time a quarterback's ever thrown a touchdown to himself in a in a playoff game? Oh, really? I'm pretty sure that's the first time
in
if
like any
I've
game.
ever seen that happen.
Yeah, I can't. Well, I mean, I'm sure not. I mean, we're not giant NFL history buffs, but I don't think I've ever seen it happen. It was
No,
crazy.
that was the first time I've ever seen it. So
yeah, but other than that, we had a sleep-a-thon between Jacksonville and Buffalo. It looked like a crappy college game. Two quarterbacks who cannot play. We had what else? We had a pretty good game against Saints and Carolina.
Yeah, the Rams decided not to show up.
Yeah, who called that one? Yeah. Oh yeah, I'd like to say it real quick before we make our predictions this week that I have taken the playoff lead. I went 3-1 last week. Ryan went 2-2.
Yes.
If I had a championship belt, I'd be wearing it right now, like my beloved Seahawks, who are going to beat the Saints this week. But
Eagles.
Whatever. Oh, you're just talking crazy. I don't know what you're talking about. But yeah, the one game that Ryan picked against me was the Falcons playing the Rams. I said sitting an inexperienced team for Week 17 was a mistake.
You were right. I will admit the one time that you were right about something.
Fire it up.
I fully allow you to have that.
That's very big of you, Ryan. I appreciate that. Don't worry, though, because some of the picks I've got this week, I'm fairly certain you're going to take the lead in our prediction pool.
Yes. It's usually how it goes.
My Wonder Woman Cup. All right, so let's move on to this week's games. Let's do the AFC first, since they have the crappier teams.
Let's do NFC.
All right, how about we do AFC, NFC, AFC, NFC? How about that?
Okay, sounds good.
First game. Well, I'll tell you what. We'll go NFC because we already previewed the Seattle Seahawks at home against the New Orleans Saints coming to town.
The Philadelphia Eagles.
I don't know what you're talking about, but sure. We'll go with your psychosis. The Eagles. I think
denial is like one of the first things. So it's just.
What are you denying? I'm not denying anything. I'm a super fan. I never deny. Listen, my team has been bad 3 times in its entire history, and I accept all of those. Listen, I'm going to London, Ryan. I'm going to go support my team in London. That's how much of a fan I am, and how much I know my team, and I know they're playing this weekend. So I got to take it somewhere that says that they're playing.
Just don't pub crawl the night before, and I think you'll be fine.
Miss the game. All right, so we've got the Philadelphia Eagles hosting the New Orleans Saints, and Drew Brees, man, red hot. Carolina, actually, we weren't sure which Carolina team was going to show up last week, and the good one showed up, the good Cam Newton, and they took New Orleans to the wire. But Drew Brees could not be denied a playoff win. All that experience came to play.
Drew Brees threw for like 400 freaking yards or something.
Wait a minute. You know what? We're not even picking the right games.
Really?
Wait a minute. I'm pretty sure the Eagles are playing. The Eagles are playing the Falcons.
Are you sure?
Oh
it's a bird
God,
on.
Yes.
Is it, I was just assuming.
I figured you had your internet up.
No, I didn't have anything up. I thought you had everything up.
There you
I
go,
was
everybody.
assuming
we always
that
make
since
a disclaimer early on in the
thing,
show that we don't know what
you
the
would
hell.
be like, "Oh, hey, I'm going to make sure I know what I'm talking about."
We've always made a disclaimer that we
I'm not
don't know
just
what
sitting
we're
around
talking
with my thumb up my ass, just sitting here talking about the Seahawks.
The one time I don't put my notes up thinking that my co-host is going to help out. Shows how much research you do, Ryan. All right, let's start this over again. The Seattle Seahawks, or as Ryan likes to call them, the Philadelphia Eagles, are playing host to the Atlanta Falcons, a team that came off a very big victory against the Rams, who did not show up. The Falcons, however, did, and they looked pretty damn good. So, I don't know. What do you think? The Eagles are going to be missing their quarterback, but you're from the land of Philadelphia.
Yeah, but he's been. They like to bulk the backup quarterback. Why can't I say his name? Yeah, they like him. I don't know. I think the Eagles have been doing pretty good all season long, but God, the Falcons, they seem to be kind of back into the mode that got them into the Super Bowl last year, which is kind of scary.
Yeah, good, solid defense, running the ball. Matt Ryan is playing pretty solid.
He's not making a lot of mistakes. I mean, Matt Ryan isn't like the greatest quarterback in the world, but when he doesn't make a lot of mistakes, the Falcons do all right.
Well, what's the weather? What's the weather supposed to be in Philly this weekend?
This weekend, it's supposed to be like 50 to 60.
All right,
and
so
just sunny. So
good
it's going to be
weather. All right, so no advantage from the weather. So I'm going to say as good of a defense as Philly has and as good as Nick Foles played for him when he had to fill in this regular season, I just do not think that Nick Foles is a playoff quarterback. And I think Atlanta, to your point, is back to playoff form. And I think they're playing really good football right now. I think they're going to be able to run the ball. I think Matt Ryan's going to be able to pass the ball. And I'm going to take the Eagles. I'm lying. I'm taking the Falcons.
I'll go with the upset because even though the Eagles have the home field advantage and everything.
Well, the Falcons would not be. God, I can't pick my teams tonight. The Falcons would not be an upset. They are actually favored in this game.
No, I meant the Eagles.
You're going to take the Eagles.
I think the Eagles are the upset. I think that even though they're the home team, that they're still the upset team just because they're unproven in the playoffs.
All right.
And the Falcons are kind of rolling on all cylinders right here. But
so you're going to take the Eagles.
I'm going to take the Eagles on this one. I think they got it in them.
I think the only thing they're going to have in them is a bunch of Falcon.
So the battle, the Eagles against the Birds.
My pick
birds that are left.
My pick is the Seattle Seahawks will be victorious.
So, like, the Eagles and Falcons are all fighting, and then
Seahawks
just, like,
swoop in.
the Seahawks true to it's like, oh, hey, there's a French fry over there. I'm just going to go land over there and, eat it.
Whatever. You know what? Whatever. Speaking of French fries, let's talk about the Ben Roethlisberger and the Steelers. Who are they playing? Who cares?
Not a segue.
What?
It's not a French fry is not a proper segue.
Have you seen Ben Roethlisberger? He's big, yellow, and greasy. He is a giant French fry.
That makes no sense.
And just like most French fries, dirty French fries, you're going to find them in a bathroom stall somewhere. All right. So Pittsburgh is playing Jacksonville this week. Jacksonville, red hot defense, who got smoked by San Francisco the last week of the season. And a quarterback who cannot throw an actual pass is heading to Pittsburgh to play Ben Roethlisberger and the Steelers, the Bumblebees. I wonder who Ryan has. Do we even need any analysts? God, I can't freaking talk tonight. Any analysis? You know what? See, this is your fault, Ryan. You had me do this on a Thursday. I'm totally unprepared. I had 2 extra days to prepare, which means I lost all the information that I sucked into my brain over the weekend.
That was my complete plan, actually.
Great.
To make sure that you were as combobulated as possible.
Mission accomplished.
Yeah.
Congratulations. All right. Steelers, Jacksonville. I don't think we have anything to say. You're going to take the Steelers, right?
Yeah, it's fairly obvious. Right. Yeah, I'm going Ben Roethlisberger as Juju. Going to throw at least one touchdown pass to Juju Smith-Schuster. Or Schuster-Smith. Yes.
I so want to take Jacksonville, but Blake Bortles is so bad. I mean, Jacksonville's hammered the Steelers early this season.
Yeah, it's going to be a revenge game.
I think the Steelers really are focused, but here's the problem. I think the Steelers are focused on beating New England. New Orleans. Got too many news in this playoffs. I think that they are going to look past Jacksonville. And I think Jacksonville.
I don't know. Mike Tomlin's not that kind of coach. He's really
you know what?
One game at a time.
Tell me how perfect. Tell me how New England. How this wouldn't be just what New England does. The one team that can possibly beat them, Pittsburgh, is going to play a team with Jacksonville who's going to beat them, but just the team that can't beat New England. Right? Happens every year. Every single year, the one team that can beat New England somehow loses because, Ben Roethlisberger sprains both ankles and gets hit by a dumpster truck on the way to the stadium. And, I don't know, whatever. You know what? Even then, I can't. I'm going to take the Steelers. God, Jacksonville.
Thank you.
Jacksonville, I want to take you so bad, but Blake Bortles, you are so terrible.
He is. And I think that the 49ers exposed some of the flaws that are in the defense. Although I can't quite remember if they were sitting a bunch of people. I don't know about that or not. But I think Jacksonville has been exposed, and they're going to go down.
They barely beat the freaking Bills. The Bills are terrible.
Yeah.
All right, so we're both taking Pittsburgh as much as it pains me. Ugh. All right,
it makes me feel so good inside to hear you say that.
Our NFC game is the Vikings playing the previously mentioned Saints, who apparently we've had playing just about everybody this week.
Yes. They're playing multiple games just to prove how good they are.
Let's just say that the Saints are the team that I'm riding with through the playoffs, so maybe that's why I've got some Saints on the mind. Other than my beloved Seahawks, of course, but whatever.
Yeah.
The Saints are traveling to Minnesota in an indoor stadium to play Casey Kasem, spinning his top 40 hits. And with a killer defense. So, we already talked at length about New Orleans when we thought they were traveling to
I think Drew Brees, just as much as he would have done against the Seahawks, he is going to instead do to the Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah, I think the Vikings have a real good defense, but I think New Orleans has got something special this year with their running game, and they got a solid defense. I think they're going to be able to stop the Vikings offense, and I just don't think that Vikings defense is going to keep Drew Brees and his offense contained the entire game. So, and
last week the Saints showed that they didn't even need to have their running or their rushers going at full speed because Drew Brees carried the whole game pretty much by himself.
Yeah, they pretty much shut down Kamara and what's his name? What I always forget.
Starts with the T.
Huh?
Starts with the T.
No,
right?
It's Mark something? I don't know.
Whatever.
The other guy who's not Kamara.
Yeah.
We are the worst sports hosts ever. If ESPN was like, hey, we heard about these geek dads, let's check out their sports show. We're like, that one guy. The guy with the jersey on. He sucks. Bears.
Yeah. There's one guy that keeps talking about a team that's not even in the playoffs.
Mark Ingram. How did you come with a T? It's Mark Ingram.
Yeah.
I knew it was going to come to me. T.
Whatever.
Anyway, I'm going New Orleans. I don't think if the Vikings are going to be able to beat them.
I don't think the Vikings got here. I think they're in the playoffs only because Aaron Rodgers got hurt.
I think the Vikings, I think Casey Keenum's going to need to spend 41 hits to get this game, and he's only got the top 40. Yeah, that joke came out a while ago, whatever. Moving on. All right, what else? The last game we got for you guys before we get out of here is the New England Saints playing
New England Saint Hawks
playing the Tennessee Go Titans Go, as my youngest Charlie calls them.
I don't think there's going to be any touchdowns thrown to themselves.
The Boston Tom Brady's are going to be playing the Tennessee Mariotas. And unfortunately for them, they're going to have to play New England against Tom Brady and the Patriots. So,
who seem to be overly prepared for every game.
Tennessee should not even be in the playoffs. Let's be real.
Yeah.
I'm going New England. I don't think we need a reason unless you want us to drag the show out a little bit longer.
As much as I don't want New England to lose, I'll still cross my fingers that I'm wrong, but I have to pick them. Just because the Titans don't really stand a chance. Yeah, but I'll cross my finger for maybe some quarterback touchdowns.
God, you are going to make me root for the freaking Steelers next week. This is awful. Hopefully I'm wrong about that Jacksonville pick. Well, it looks like I guess I was wrong. I guess we only had one pick that was going to be different, and it wasn't even the one I thought it was going to be. So, all right. There we go. I just knew you were going to pick Jacksonville. I'm shocked.
Yeah, I was expecting you to, honestly. I was gonna. This is the first game all season that you even picked the Steelers.
I know. I'm trying to secretly jinx them.
Yeah, your daughter was the only one that even picked my team.
Yeah, that's true. She's smarter than me. All right. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Unless you got anything else.
No. Go Steelers.
Go Seahawks. Woo!
Eagles.
London, 2018. All right.
Get here.
All right, guys. Well, thank you for joining us. Next week, we'll be here for the championship games, and we will make our 2 selections. Probably somehow still magically be a half-hour show. And until then, stay awesome, everybody.
Stay nerdy, everyone.